Alright everybody, I've got a C10 update for you. It is, I don't even know what day it is, Wednesday, October 26th, I think. Here's where we're at. I've made a bunch of progress with wiring here lately. Before I had, the cal screen is off of it, it's up there, grill's up there, and the hood is back behind the truck. I'm going to have to take it a little farther apart, get the core support actually mounted correctly, because I didn't know what I was doing when I put it there. And, of course, these are repop fenders, so I know they're not going to fit 100%, but I'm going to see what I can do to get them as close as I can. The engine's together. I have an Amazon aluminum radiator in. This is a cap, came with a dress-up kit. The valve covers are part of it. I think I've still got like oil pan timing chain. Those will probably go on the 302, but yeah, radiator's in, hoses are in, they're happy. I don't have it mounted 100%. It's pretty much just sitting there for now. This was like $150 on Amazon. I may have to trim like the inside corners of these bushings for it to fit 100%, but it clamps down. It sits right where the stock one should go. No modification is needed. So I'm real happy with that. I'm gonna have to figure out something here because that fan is awful close to the upper hose there. I might undo the clamp and see if I can twist it, get it up a little higher. If not, I might have to try another hose. This manifold is literally, it's got the dipstick holding it there and then one bolt up front. Basically, so I could just get the alternator wiring situated. All of the wiring for the engine is done, except I need to ground. Turn the light on, see if that helps at all. I need to ground the choke heater. I have the power run. Everything's routed about where I want it. I'm going to have to figure out some sort of wire loom or something to clean that up. And I've got a grommet. I'm probably going to cut the grommet to get it in there. But plug wires are on. They might be right, they might not. And I don't know if I went over this in the last video. I've got MSD ignition. The box is inside the truck. So it's HEI distributor with a mag pickup. The wires of the pickup go to the box, and then wires from the box are going to go to, I have an Excel coil. The reason I don't have it on is it's got like the cover that goes over it, and I'm not smart enough to know I have plug wires routed correctly. A lot of late nights on this, so I'm sure things are going to have to be changed around, this, that, the other. Fuel lines are completely done. I'm going to have to get under it and make sure I tighten the clamps under the cab, but everything that was up here is good. I got a nice a clear plastic filter just in case there's any crud in the tank and line, all that good stuff. Carb is mounted with a fresh gasket. I got the line for the booster figured out. I've got a new cover and clips along with an air cleaner in my shopping cart. I'm just gotta hit purchase and get that on the way. Alternators are obviously not mounted 100%. I gotta figure out why this bracket isn't wanting to work. It's not wanting to cooperate. That bolt hole right there. So I don't know if this one has a few aftermarket bends in it, but I'll get it figured out. Worst case, I'll do one of the real skinny guys that goes from one bolt over. But I really like to keep this one. It'll hide some of the wiring ugliness back there. But everything here is routed. I have, like I said, the ground for the choke heater somewhere, and then the ground for the coil I've got to run somewhere. The battery, I think, is going to live in the bed. What I'm going to do, I have the original steel floor bed off the truck that is crusty. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill the outside of it full of mud and spray bomb it red and make it look pretty. And just throw a battery box inside of it. When I get the wood floor together, which I've got some of the ingredients up there, when I get that together, my plan is I'm going to get like a metal repop, like Coca-Cola cooler, and that will be my battery box in the bed. But that'll be down the road. So that'll keep the battery hidden. If I go lower, I won't have to worry about relocating it, it'll already be back there. And in the bed, it'll be more accessible than and cheaper than doing a drop-down box on the frame rail. All of my lighting is kind of halfway routed. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna tie everything up there. I mean, you probably won't really notice it, but this I want all hidden, nice, tied up. I'm gonna have to add to a couple of the wires, but everything else should be good. I have an HID kit there that we're gonna try it. Worst case, I can rip everything out. I'm just gonna do like some sort of 3M, either dual lock or some sort of double-sided adhesive. I'm not gonna drill holes in the core support for all that stuff. All the relays and ballasts, I want them out here so that they won't be visible from the engine bay. Get past the bike here. I've got to figure out some stuff with the transmission yet. Power steering lines I have just kind of sitting there. I'm going to have to shorten them. It's like a universal type deal. But, and the one valve cover gasket I have sitting there, I've got to pull this valve cover and make sure that, make sure I know where top dead center is, all that stuff before I go cranking it over. So the interior doesn't look like a whole lot's changed, but since the last video, I have run all of the wiring inside the cab. The MSD box is mounted behind the glove box. You can see some of the wires through the radio hole. You can actually see the MSD box there through the radio hole. So it is mounted to the inside of the firewall. All the wires are tied up. The only thing I'm going to have to do is run a battery hot cable to, I'm going to have a little terminal, it's somewhere in there, just a battery hot terminal to run to the MSD box, and then to a couple other switches for, I'm going to need one for the kickdown switch, and then one to the reverse light switch. Other than that, everything is wired. This is still a little bit of a mess until I tie everything up before I put carpet in. I started with this gas tank carpet. I'm going to have to trim it and make it actually look nice. I think once this is trimmed, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start putting the seats back in, like I'll do one at a time. And I'm going to mark what holes are going to be used, and then anything else I'm going to plug with a Christmas tree, just to try and keep most of the moisture out. But yeah, everything is wired. The cluster is, it doesn't look like it's moved since the past video, but I've had it in and out a bunch of times. But the wiring is all done, like I said, except for some grounds and then some circuits that I'm going to have to add. And then I haven't done anything with the rear lighting yet. It's still on the floor under the truck somewhere. There's the hood. Seats are back there along with, that's the carpet for the floor. What else have I got done? All the wiring is up there for the interior light. I still gotta figure out what I'm doing there. But I have power wire run to the switch. I'm gonna have to clean that up a little bit, but I have power to the cargo light switch and all that stuff. And it's all the way in there. Let me climb in here and closer look at what's going on. If I can do it without breaking anything. So this is a delete panel that I made for the heater controls. I'm going to have to figure out another way to mount it because, sorry, the panel is out of one of the 66s, the passenger cars, which I guess they have bits and pieces left over that they used when they put these trucks together. I don't know. Anyway, I've got, so that will delete the heater control box. I gotta figure out something on the radio. Stand by, let me get this cargo light out of here. So the wiring looks like kind of a mess. But here's what we've got. Of course, when I'm trying to run away. So this will all behind the factory lens. So you won't really be able to tell anything, but the red lights are going to be wired to third brake light circuit. So the red will come on for third brake light, and then the white LED will be on the factory cargo light switch. So I think that'll be pretty neat, and you won't be able to see any LEDs in it. It'll look stock. I don't know, it might be silly, but they'll work. I've got a crap ton of them, so if one of them goes out, they'll be easily changed rather than the $100 LED light or whatever they cost. What else have we got done? MSD in there. These wires here are going to go to, I think I'm going to put, this is the style terminal I'm going to use. It's going to go up here. Some way, somehow. And then I'll put a cap on it so they can't touch anything. The two-step module I don't have attached to anything yet. It's going to go on this side of the glove box liner, so it'll be accessible to change the chips if I need, which there's a bag of them, new pack of them, this, that, the other. But yeah, I am very close to being able to throw voltage at it, so pretty excited there. I don't know, I might have to add, I don't know that I'm going to add a whole lot, but I don't know where I was going with that train of thought derailed. That pretty much sums up where we're at. Since my last video, I've made a bunch of progress with this thing, and got some nice weather out here. All the leaves changing colors. That fun stuff. So yeah, I'm going to keep on trucking with this thing and see what I can get done. I might be able to get the wiring finished this evening, besides terminals for all the lights, because I don't know exactly where all that's going to live out there. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and hopefully I have more progress for you next time.